Please, no code names. Call me Jean.
What is up, you guys? This is All Danny Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you a build breakdown update for Jean Grey. So I was playing with her, and this build is just so much stronger than what I put up before. Her two main attributes are energy and intelligence. She automatically gets a 15% crit hit damage. She has no resource. Well, she does have resources, but it doesn't show on the traits. She gains health. It says health gain for her one of her main defensive stats. 210 health per second. This effect is tripled for 4 seconds when you fall below 35% of your max health once every 10 seconds. Defense and deflect are her two main stats. Defense and deflect rating multiplier 20%. Defense and deflect rating is increased by 600 for its base. So for X, so pretty much most of my abilities are pretty much all changed up. So yeah, X, I have this as Flaming Debris, which is on X, and then Phoenix Charge is L2 Circle. Tactical Destruction, which is the shield something, whatever. It's gonna look like a shield at first without the talent, but Tactical Destruction on Triangle. Pyrokinetic Barrier on Circle. Crushing Telekinesis, which is her signature on L2X. Psychonetic Implosion on Square. Dark Phoenix on L2 Triangle. Telepathic Illusion on L2 Square. So for her talents, I put Unleash the Phoenix, so she's always in Phoenix form, always gains 350 health on hit, gains 4% damage reduction, and gains 10% damage to fire powers. Friends of the first class, apply strengthen to allies while you are in combat. Telepathic illusions deal damage to nearby enemies and appear as members of the first class. Buff effect strengthened, damage is increased by 10%, crit hit rating multiplier increased by 10%. So I'm not using this for the strengthened talent buff. I mean, the strengthened buff effect is always really nice to have, but I'm mainly using this for telepathic illusion for the damage over time. And then Heart of the Team, Phoenix Force, generation rate is 25%. Dark Phoenix supplies rapid healing to all allies. Buff effect, rapid healing. Health gain 20% or the fucking rapid healing gives you 20% of max health. Duration is 3 seconds. The next one would be Environmental Hazard. So it's called your Psi Shield. Psi Shield is what it's called. But Psi Shield transforms into Tactical Destruction. Tactical Destruction telekinetically levitates in and hurls an abandoned vehicle at enemies. And that will do an automatic Brutal Strike. Next one would be Controlled Engagement. Psychonetic Barrier gains the following effects. Crit hit chance 100%, cooldown reduction is 5 seconds, and it generates 12.5 Phoenix Force per second. So while Psychonetic Barrier is active, you get 12.5 Phoenix Force. So for Crushing Telekinesis, it's kind of like a... Oh, this is your signature. No, I'm looking at Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix is kind of in a way like your signature, sort of. It's kind of like using a signature. It doesn't have a cooldown reduction or anything, but it does have it's a nice damage dealer, and it gives you healing, so it's really useful. Telepathic Illusion, the only reason why I use this is because it taunts your enemies, and it'll do damage over time to your enemies, and the cooldown's not bad either. It's 10 seconds too. The reason why I use Psychonetic Implosion is because you can spam this ability while you're in Phoenix Force, and you're always in your Dark Phoenix Force, or your Phoenix Force, whatever. You're always in it, so you're always going to be able to spam your Psychonetic Implosion, and it does
Honestly,
a nice amount of damage.
Grading papers at the
And
mansion.
it also pulls in your enemies too, so it'll pull in smaller enemies. But it does cost spirit, so keep that in mind. Spirit cost is 17.4. The next thing is Pyrokinetic Barrier. Pyrokinetic Barrier gives you 100% crit hit chance. So your Pyrokinetic Barrier is going to be doing the crit hit. Your abilities don't do crit hit. It won't have 100% crit hit chance. but still, it's really nice. And then you also absorb 1996 damage. And cooldown for this is 5 seconds. Tactical destruction gives you 25,000 to 37,000 damage. Crit hit and brutal strike chance. It should have just said brutal strike chance is increased to 100%. 8-second cooldown. And then crushing telekinesis, your signature. All it does is lifts your enemies in the air, but it does nice damage. It just 14,964 to 22,444 45 damage per hit, and it hits 5 hits on each enemy. So it's a good ability, in my opinion, or decent signature, I guess, in my opinion. So her synergies, the ones I'm using Beast, Deadpool, Gambit, Ghost Rider, Hawkeye, Hulk, Luke Cage, Scarlet Witch, Squirrel Girl, and War Machine. So the reason why I'm using War Machine is, well, she's not fighting, I don't think. She's intelligence and energy, energy and intelligence. So the reason why I use War Machine and Luke Cage is because War Machine's +1 fighting. It's good for any character, in my opinion, because it increases your crit. And then Luke Cage's durability is good for any character as well. Increases your durability. The reason why I'm using Deadpool's is because of the explosive damage increase for 2.5% towards explosive damage, and that comes from your tactical destruction. Ghost Rider, for obvious reasons, you're gonna be fire based. So, and then I put Hulk's on because it's 6% more health. The next thing is the infinity points. So I put all my points into intelligence and the rest into mental focus. So like I've said before, mental focus is pretty much your go-to infinity stat for most characters, because crit damage affects anyone. So I would definitely put points into that if you don't have 25 points. If you don't want to do that, then you can always go with healing received from restoration or inner resilience, or you can go with micro orbs, gravity well, or you can not temporal loophole. So yeah, these two and these two, and then mental focus. But I would highly suggest putting points into intelligence. For my gear, I'm not that well optimized. I just now bought the Mandalay gem. Took me a while. I don't know why it took me up until now, I think I've had this. I just don't think I played with Jean too much. But yeah, Mandalay gem is definitely the one you want to go for if you're using her Dark Phoenix build, or Phoenix build, whatever you want to call it. There are psychic builds out there. If you're using a psychic build, don't use the Mandalay gem. It's not going to benefit you at all. The medallions, I think the best medallion for her is Pyro's medallion. Pyro or Soren's. I think Soren's is when you deal fire damage, you increase in fire damage. I don't remember, but I like Pyro's medallion because your ranged attacks ignite enemies on fire for 95-82 physical damage over 3 seconds, and they take 10% extra damage from fire powers. So all of your abilities are range based, so it's always going to proc, so that means you're always going to be dealing 10% extra damage with fire powers. My catalyst, it's 35% movement speed increase for 5 seconds when you use your medkit, 418 health on when you hit, regenerate 25% of your max health up to 3,000, and 100 spirit when you use your medkit, +3 durability. I wish it had energy or intelligence, but then again, durability does help. But if I had +3 intelligence or energy, then I would be doing 12% more base damage. My cosmic affix, gain a damage shield equal to 50% of your max health when you use the medkit, and then the cosmic bonus or whatever for the purple, 50% chance when you hit to gain 10 spirit. Then for my relic, I'm using Relic of Gibberim. You gain 200 spirit and 1,000 health if you have it maxed or a complete relic. The reason why I'm using Gibberim is because that way you can pretty much keep spamming Psychonetic Implosion or whatever other abilities. For my artifacts, I don't have great artifacts on. I'm using the advanced Phoenix Feather. When defeated, you instead revive to full health and spirit. So that's not going to work in trials, just letting you know, but everything else is nice. The +1 energy, 30 health regen per second, fire damage, and defense. Sinister's Diamond, if both cooldown and ranged procs are active at the same time, gain 1 to all attributes for 10 seconds. 409 defense, you gain defense rating. When you hit with a cooldown power, you gain crit damage energy, or crit damage rating, and +1 to energy for 10 seconds. When you hit with a ranged power, gain brutal damage rating and 1 intelligence for 10 seconds. So if you use both your cooldown and ranged, which is pretty much any of your abilities, then you'll get a +2 to your energy and +2 to your intelligence in total. Whoa. And then I'm using the 9 heads. I'm only using this because it gives me +3 intelligence, +3 energy, so that's what 24% base damage increase right there. So for my stats, I have 31,201 average effective health, 35% damage reduction. My offensive stats, I have 2458 crit hit, 6139 crit damage, 1368 brutal strike, 1992 brutal damage, 120% base damage. So I definitely still need work for her. Just need to get better gear and a few better artifacts, or a better artifact, and she'll be pretty much solid. And upgrade her legendary item. So now I'm going to show you what each ability does. So this is for X. It shoots out 3 pellets and it does piercing. So implosion, the psychokinetic implosion or pyrokinetic implosion, as you can see, this is what it does. And there's no cooldown on it, it just takes resource. For my triangle ability, the tactical destruction, summons a car and does nice damage, brutal damage as well. And then my pyrokinetic shield automatically crits and does a nice AoE, pushes enemies away too. And then you've got your taunting one, I forgot what that's called, but it taunts your enemies and it does a nice AoE ability out here like that. And then, as you can see, the white bar above my my resource, the blue bar, the white bar above that is your Phoenix Force generation. So once you get that filled up, as long as you're in combat and you're dealing damage, your Phoenix Force generation will proc, and this is what it'll look like. Bam. And then you have the signature. That's what the signature does. So that's basically it. If this video helps you out at all with Scarlet Witch, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. If you have any artifact suggestions that would be really useful for her, go ahead and leave that down in the comment section too, so that way I can try to min-max with her as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Jean Grey. Like I said, if this helped you out at all, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, that's pretty much it. This is all Day One on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.